need to restart this thing.
Oh, you're filling your bottle?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna need it done, but just not right now at the second. Let's do that. That.
Everything's okay, but
Yeah, still got more to do. Which is fine. It's good.
yeah.
Going back there on Sunday.
You go for a Sunday?
Yep. Nothing. Right now we are doing finishing up this PC so this person can pick this up. Damn it. I hate this. Yeah, I gotta go turn it off. What is going on? I have this knot of cables for some reason. I don't understand how it happens. Need to make sure these other drives are showing back up. Yeah, I agree. Hey, this is Chris. Good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just drop it off, and then I got to put together a full list, and then I'll order everything, and then once I get it together, you just come pick it up. Okay, I'll be here till 5:30. Absolutely, I'm going. Bye. Why is this not shutting off? Well, that's strange. Alright, I'm gonna swap some parts. Do some cable managements. Restroom first. What's going on, Looney? Good. Busy day. Busy day. Right back. Okay. Let's do this. All right, so we got ourselves a little upgrade here. All right, no music. Okay, we're gonna be installing. We got ourselves a new CPU, which is a Ryzen 7. We got some more memory, which this is DDR 8000. Ooh, this is gonna be a problem. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. This motherboard might support it, but I don't know if it's gonna run very well. And then new motherboard to put in there. Let's find out what's gonna happen here. First things first, let's get our top panel off. Let's see, are the screws in here? Yes, they are. Yeah, I think that 8000 speed memory is going to be a problem. I might have to downclock it. AMD has a problem with those higher speed memories. Well, we'll see. Oh, Orca droid. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, it really depends on the timings. All right, first things first. Let's get this cooler disconnected. Move this off to the side. Put some new thermal paste on this. Video card out. 1490. Chunky boy. Start unplugging all these cables. We're gonna have to undo some of this cable management for sure, just because some of these cables are not gonna line up in the same place. Now, this is DDR4 4400. So we're going to be setting that off to the side. Let's go ahead and pull these screws. Yeah, we'll see, because I generally, anything above 6,000 with AM5 is a struggle as far as whether or not it'll actually work correctly.
Aye, back.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go through and see if there's anything else. I mean, the 4090 is a real solid choice when it comes to the GPU, especially in a world where a 5090 is still basically the cost of the other upgrades you put into this. Cooler looks like it's probably fine. Now we're going to find out if there's not a screw in there. Let's go ahead and pull this out. This is Chris. How can I help you? What's the name? Let me see here. I think that might be the next one that I'm working on here, or it's one of the ones I've already started on. Nope, there's 2 computers ahead of yours still. So I should be getting to it shortly. I would say it's either going to be at the end of the day or it'll be tomorrow. Yep. Bye. So the 49, like a 5090 is still selling for over $2,000. Like base, you're probably going to be spending 25 to 3,000. All right, let's get this off of here. Yes, Emily, I saw what you put. So we might have a small problem. Did you put this computer together originally? Or was this built by somebody else? So, do you know if he gave you a box with cooler parts? Because I need to, we might have a problem with these standoffs being the wrong height for your CPU. Yeah. Let's set that off to the side. We'll find out. This is, let's see, I'm not sure if there's any, I gotta clear this. Let me clean this off real quick. I'm gonna figure out which Arctic cooler this is specifically. Because it might be fine, it might not. Because what ends up happening is you end up having 2 different heights on the CPU. And that actually matters. Or it has too much pressure. That's the other side of it. All right, so we're putting in this tough gaming GPU here. Or GPU. Slow down, brain. We're putting in a tough gaming motherboard. Hopefully a lot of these connectors are just going to line up. Caution, only remove the expansion card end from the closest motherboard. What? Huh. Never seen that kind of warning before. We need to move the SSD. Before I forget, let me grab that. We got two. Holy crap. What did this guy do to your SSD? Set that up there. There, see if I can. You guys can see that SSD in there. The nice angle that it has. Let's get this plate off of here. That is not good. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, we'll show you here in a second. This bottom, this wasn't even screwed on. This, there's like an extra piece that was added underneath here. Instead of this being done correctly. Yeah, that's quite the bend we have there. Thankfully, there's nothing over here. Oh, yeah, that's not ideal. Yeah, when this was put together, that was not put together correctly. Let's put all this back on here, seeing as we got two SSDs, and you got to make sure we get them transferred over. How am I already bleeding? Something sharp. No, that's not a heat problem, Mr. Biggs. That's a... Well, I don't have the right stuff, but I need to put it in here, so let me figure this out. Oh, here we go. Just shove it in there. That's what that is. Instead of saying to the customer, hey, sorry, I got to make you wait a couple more days. I have to order another standoff. Which is ideal and preferable versus straight up, like, destroying that. That is a pretty severe bend. Hello. Yeah. That's why it's not lining up. All right.
You don't want any of these parts of this XP, do you?
I do not. Move that over there. Set that off to the side. So because we're using an SSD with a heatsink, we're just going to take off this top heatsink entirely and just toss it in the motherboard box. And then we'll just drop that in there because it already has a heatsink. There's no need to double that up. And then the bottom one, we'll put this bottom one in. Yeah, okay, just leave it. I'm in the process of doing something, Angeline. I'll talk to you a little bit later about it.
These aren't screws in it, it's something else.
So let's get this one in here. And as per usual, you're going to, oh, this is reversible. How cute. Pull off our pad. Make sure you don't leave that on there. It's been a theme for a while, Mr. Big, is covering stuff up for quote-unquote aesthetics. Go ahead and put our processor in here. This is a chunky computer. We lift the socket. Everything looks good. Down we go. Nice and secure. Do our peels now. All right, we still have double power. Everything should line up pretty well
We're in the
here.
right place, but we're out of computers right now. We're gonna hopefully get someone who do the drive in November. We will do an offer for free. It's usually on Veterans Day, and we thing out for the month. We do it all year round, but we have to keep reminding people. And we get a rush of them, and then we have a dry spell.
All right, let's get these in there.
Yeah. So yeah,
Get it nice and secure.
okay. And if we don't have that, normally after Christmas, because people get good stuff for Christmas, and they get little stuff too. So just keep checking on those. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Everything looks good. Is that right? So he thinks he has the ID cooling. Yeah, that looks about right. Different fans though. What I'm curious about is going to be if there is a different set of standoffs. There's no manual for this. Well, that's fun. Yeah, Emily. Yeah, I remember that. There's no manual. Online. Manual. What is this thing called? This is the SL360. Insecure download. Awesome. Very interesting. So, so when this guy originally put this together, it looks like he used the wrong brackets. All right, great. So it looks like originally he was using the wrong bracket, which is the right bracket for our application currently. So who knows? We'll see what happens here when we go to put this together. So let's get this installed. And yeah, they do. What's going on, Ramrod? So it looks like it's the same regardless. It is. This is Looney's PC. Yeah, it's a nice PC. You're getting a nice solid upgrade out of this too. Yeah, this is one of the Asus tough gaming ones. They're always nice looking solid boards. It helps we're coming from an ROG board, so a lot of this stuff's going to be similar location wise. Get some more of these screws in here so stuff doesn't flex. As I'm doing stuff, we're gonna blow some stuff out too, because there's some dust here that I'm not a fan of. Let's get this guy in here. No, 9800X3D. I like how Ramrod always 100% of the time goes to the top of the stack. Is this the most expensive product that exists? Oh. Where is my thermal paste? There it is. Okay, say, do we have a fan header over here? We do have a fan header over here. That fan plugged in. So see if we can get stuff plugged in back here. USB. We're missing a fan. Oh, we got fan headers over there. USB, USB. We'll have to go around the back. This cable needs to move. This cable needs to move. We have 2 fan headers up here. All-in-one pump. CPU fan. How were these labeled on this one? We had all-in-one pump was the top right one, so that is that one. And then leave that. And if they're not right, we'll swap them around a little bit. Let's go ahead and put some thermal paste on this bad boy. Oh, well, that's upsetting. You get this giant tube. You think, oh, there's plenty of thermal paste left in there. And nothing. No, you don't, but you ask if it's the top tier thing every single time, which is adorable. Are you coming in here? $10G. Your car means nothing. What's 2,000 compared to 20 grand, right? There's a difference. That's like saying, I'm poor, I can only drive a Maserati. I mean, look at the house that I live in. I can't afford a $10 million house, but I drive a Maserati still. All right, we got thermal paste on there. All right. Get this mounted back on there. Yeah, I want everyone to have the best stuff as well. I feel that. All right, CPU bracket mounted. Yeah, we're gonna have to open up the back here and take a look and see what's going on back there. Just a little bit, because we gotta, like I said, we gotta rearrange some cables. That USB-C. All right, let's go ahead and do that now, I guess. Undo that. Set you down. Do we have another screw up here holding this on? No, this one just comes off. Let's rotate. Man, cable management's nice. Oh my gosh. So your next upgrade is 100% a new power supply, my guy. That is dangerous. Oh, what is... No, it has a name. It is Game Max power supply. Yeah. What the most important part of any computer is the power supply, because it is the one component in your computer that if something goes wrong with it,
have no fear,
can burn
no
your house
easier.
down. And having a knockoff or no-name brand power supply like that is a huge no-no. Welcome in, Nathan. Nathan-san. You have a 3-pin. We have a 3-pin all the way over here. And then we have a USB fan. Cool, that's just an extension. Hey, at least this case is light, right? I'm pretty sure that needs to go to this. Yeah, so, Mr. Looney, if my chat starts roasting you about the products that are in here, keep in mind they're not roasting you, they're roasting the guy that actually put this together and didn't say, hey, by the way, this isn't a good idea. Everything else in here looks generally fine. I don't know what this is, so we're gonna find out that. Yeah. Like, when I say I don't know what it is, I know what it does. I don't know what that brand is. I've never seen that logo before. All right. Let's go ahead and... we need to cut this. This is going to be a problem. Let's cut this zip tie. Pull everything back. So I would, the two brands that actually I have 3 brands that I recommend. You can either look at Corsair, you can look at Seasonic, or Superflower. One of those 3 brands, like whatever power supply this guy told you to order, look at the wattage on it, because I can't see any wattage information on that one, and then order one of those 3 in that. So that same number. So if this is like an 850 power supply, yeah, so if it's an 850 watt power supply, for instance, order an 850 watt power supply from one of those 3 companies, and you can 100% run it by me before you buy it. So that way you know. All right, our Trident Royals here. And one of the things they don't tell you about these is that there is a heel on these. Yeah, we're like, my chat is very, very jovial. We never actually harp on people in reality unless they're actually intentionally doing damage to themselves or their property. And even then, it's your stuff. If you want to do it, feel free. All right, for now, we are only going to put one of these in here because I have this strong suspicion that we're going to have an issue with this. So someone was asking about the timings on this. We have CL 38, 48, 48. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this do. It's a 1050 watt power supply, not even 1,000 watt or a 1,500 watt. It is 1,050. Interesting. What is going on here? What happened to the screw that's supposed to hold this in? Did the guy just decide not to give that to you? I gotta put a screw in there. That's wild. You know that's not true, Ramrod. You 100% know that's not true. All right. So we're going to leave this one off to the side for now. We'll take this, we'll plug this in, and then we'll do our first post. Everything should be plugged in. We have everything up there plugged in. We have these guys plugged in. Everything's sitting correctly. Everything's plugged in down here. A couple things. One of the things I want to look at, I was talking with him at the front counter. He wasn't sure on these fans, on whether they're going the right direction. We're not sure if these are reverse blade. We're going to find out real quick. Same with these guys, same with these guys. So we're going to be looking at fans. We might be doing some extra work rearranging some fans. Yep, this is like the 4090s. They were and still are quite the beefcakes. Hey, at least they're not DNF'd here, right? And look at that, it comes with RGB. Okay. We're gonna get our first post here in 3, 2, 1, go. The bottom fans aren't spinning, but your pump might be starting to go. So why aren't our bottom fans spinning? We got a post. Yay, we got a post. Awesome. But we need to figure out why our bottom fans are no spinny spin. So which way are these guys spinning? These are spinning that way, so that's going that way. So those should be reversed for sure. So we'll flip all of those, and I just need to figure out why these are not running. I don't like this. Like, does it make a weird sound every time you start it up, like a little bit of grinding? Because that's what it was just doing. And that might just be because I had it laying down and it hasn't run in a minute. So yeah, then if it's something that you've noticed it doing, that unfortunately means it's time to replace it. Because either one of two things, the impeller that's on the inside is spinning against nothing, so it's starting to burn the motor because it's a submerged motor, or the blade itself is like, normally your blade would be sitting parallel, it's sitting like this and it's making contact. This is not a very expensive cooler to begin with. If you wanted to replace it, I actually would recommend probably one of the Peerless, not Peerless sound, trying to remember what it's called. The Thermalright Arctic 3? Is that what it is? The Arctis 3? Well, the Peerless Assassin is the air cooler. I'm talking about their liquid cooler one, which I do not remember. Someone want to look that up for him real quick? So it's this bundle of cables. Yeah, it's very highly rated. Like, the question comes down to whether or not you want a screen, honestly. Shut anything off? No. So, what are we looking at here? Is it you? Is it you? I'm pretty sure it's you. Yep, it was you. So yeah, all of your fans are set as exhaust. So regardless of what we do here today, I will be reversing these and reversing those. These are going to look less pretty, but they will at least cool stuff correctly. All right, right back. All right, what are you guys recommending? Master, don't recommend things that are not good. That is a nice radiator, though. That Thermalright one. Tech recommended the Thermalright. Yep, that is a solid one for 80 bucks. That is a pretty good one. The ones that I typically use are the Corsair coolers. I just have a proclivity to use Corsair stuff. Yes, this is a very, very good PC, Emily. Yep, it did. Oh, awesome, Emily. Happy for you. All right, let's turn that off to get this other stick of memory in there, and then we'll start swapping some fans. Yeah, you'll find, Looney, that if you enter my chat on any given day and you ask which all-in-one cooler I'm going to recommend, it's going to be a Corsair, because I have had amazing experiences with Corsair's warranty process, which definitely skews my opinion of them. I had no receipts. I had it for a long time, and they just said, sure, just send it to us, we'll replace it for you, and that was it. All right, let's move you over to here. Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, what's up?
I opened up another box for the cooling fans.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in there that I'm going to need, unless there's something else shoved in here. Yeah, this is
everything just in case.
yeah. So yeah, this is for something else, which I don't even think that is in there, but we'll hold on to it.
Yeah, if Pierre doesn't need it and you want it, cool. If not, you know.
Yeah.
So for the soft tubing, is it like one color, like black, or can you do clear tubing?
It's clear. Yeah, whenever you look at soft tubing, it's always clear, because if you infuse it with a, how do I explain this? If you infuse it with a colorant or a dye, what ends up happening is, if it heats up too much, that colorant or dye can leach into the fluid, which
Change
would be
the
bad.
color?
Yeah.
I was just watching videos where it turned it like light blue because the copper was leaching into the.
Yeah.
Cool.
Where the hard lines are more resilient because of the way they're made, but clear. It's gonna be clear tubing for sure. Yep. Who?
It's one of the guys you called back that left a message earlier.
Okay. We'll find out. Yes, true. It depends on how hot the tubing gets. This is Chris. Yeah, what's going on? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I can do that. It's Sure, it's $65 per computer, plus the cost of the drive if you don't provide one. That would be up to you, because if you're just interested in getting the data, the only thing that would theoretically prevent me would be as if the actual drives themselves were damaged. And if they're damaged at that point, I don't do data recovery, so I would put you in touch with a data recovery company. And you know, if the data that's on there is theoretically that important, you would just go from there. Yeah. Sure. All right. Yep. Storage. Correct. I would assume so, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that's not going to affect anything. Just bring it all in at once, and then I get to them as I get to them. Yep, just call before you head down, verify that I'm in. I do leave occasionally, and usually I'm closed on Tuesdays. So if, like, I'm here all day on Saturdays typically, and yeah, just whenever your schedule works, just call and then head down this way. Mm-hmm. Depending on how much data is there, think about a single terabyte takes an hour to move. So, and then like right now there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 computers ahead of you if you brought it in right now. And each one of those computers, you know, about 2 computers per day is what I'm able to get through. So if you brought it in on Monday, I wouldn't get started on it until Friday. And then at that point, you're probably looking, like I said, just about an hour per terabyte of data, not including attempting to get to the data. Alrighty. Absolutely. Uh-huh. If you got any questions, give me a call. Yep, bye. So Tech, I have had soft lines that were colored blue leach into the fluid that I was using for coolant. Because it really, really depends on the quality and the temperature of the liquid. Because if the temperature of yeah, it's soft line, exactly. If the temperature of the fluid that is in there gets close to the production, no, it's available in other things. It's definitely available in other colors. I was telling him I only use clear. That is entirely your call. If you want to, absolutely. It would give me, like, if I was in your shoes, it would give me peace of mind. But I am, like, for now, I'm gonna get this set up and get it running, and then I can run some checks on it. Have you noticed it getting hot? And when you say that Corsair one, yeah, are we talking about the power supply or the all-in-one? I just realized that. Why is everything just on this slightly loose? So strange. Thank you, Mr. Tech. Yeah, if you're using colored coolant in colored tubing, it's not really good. All right, I think you should get the Corsair power supply. I think that is actually a good investment right now. For sure. All right, and then we're going to lay this guy down. And that's plugged in all the way. We're going to flip these fans. Pull that out. What are you getting caught on? No, master. Good advice only today, sir. What was that? There was a screw falling. Yeah, there was a screw stuck in there. EA going private. No one plays their games, so doesn't matter too much. Well, you play their old games. What's their current games that you play? Yep, that is a great power supply. And you could have it here Monday. All right, come off. I got 2 more screws. Yeah, if you want the one that's in here is black. It's behind a panel. You can't see it. And, you know, I think the black ones are a little bit bigger than the white ones, just in general. Yeah, like almost. That's true. The cables will be white, but there are no real black cables other than these 2 up front. I don't know. That's entirely your call, man. There is a white one and there is a black one. Jeez. All right. Give this a flip. He already has some LED cables, which I need to make sure are actually working here when we get this all packed up and powered up. So if you're curious and you're just joining and wondering, what are you doing? We are flipping these bottom fans because they are currently not bringing air into the actual tower. Yeah, you can get sleeved extensions, but the question is, are they of any good quality? The last time I bought sleeved extensions was from Cable Mods, and I paid $50 per setup. But then again, I was getting custom gray, orange, black, and red for the Diablo PC. What is, like, I like my zip ties as much as anybody else, but what is this? Like, what is the purpose of that? Man. There were some choices made here. Oh, so it's missing the screw over here? I was trying not to remove that. I know, I'm doing this the hard way. Because that bottom thing comes out, I just don't want to remove the GPU again. Yeah, there's multiple zip ties on there that don't need to be on there. Charges per zip tie. Yeah, that's probably accurate. I still feel so bad that you got charged that much for the amount of work that had to go into this. I'm sorry about that, man. I'm apologizing for the entire IT and tech repair community. Because you got taken for a ride, man, and that sucks so bad. And now, like, I'm concerned about, like, some of the other choices that were made here. The fact that we're finding parts in here that I wouldn't give to my worst enemy because of how low quality they are. And that is scary to me. Let's get this back on here. So those fans are now pulling in. And we just got to line all this back up. Yeah, I'm sorry. It sucks, man. Well, at least when you're done with me, you'll be in a much better spot. Both not only safety-wise, but performance-wise. Yeah, and you can feel free to stop by anytime you want, ask questions. Yeah, that is a good point for that other company, Master. All right, that is on there. Let's lift. So we need to figure out why these cables aren't lighting up. So fans are now pointing in the right direction. Let's make sure we have memory learning complete, because we have now added both sets of RAM. RGB. It looks like this RGB starting to fail here. Yeah, that pump is not happy. And we got our post. Let's go into BIOS. See how out of date we are on this. All right. BIOS version 1513. Which one are we currently on? Hey, I will say this. It's a nice looking PC. We now have fans pulling air in, which is nice. I have nice air blowing across my face. We have a tough gaming X870E plus Wi-Fi 7. Plus Wi-Fi 7. Got drivers. Switch to the US website. Support. Drivers. BIOS. We are on 17.15, so we're a little bit out of date. Let's get this downloaded. And then we'll see, right now, you can see if you're looking at the screen, the BIOS is currently running the memory at 4800. So just about 60% of what its potential performance is. So we're going to turn on XMP and hopefully it'll continue posting. We'll do that after we do the BIOS update. Because we don't want to say, oh, hey, look, it's all working. We do the BIOS update and then it doesn't work. Why would I need to set up TPM if it's already enabled? Are you assuming that it's not enabled? Or does it say someplace here TPM is not enabled? USB, do I have one of these that says BIOS? Ooh, this has 10 gig USB. That's exciting. There it is. BIOS. Maybe. Yes, but TPM is generally enabled on all modern motherboards. It is a 4090. Looney, another thing you need to look into is a GPU support. Something that goes from here to here. Because this has got a bunch of sag, which going from motherboard to motherboard, the fact that the sag is still here means that the PCB that's on the back is starting to warp, which will eventually lead to cracking, which will eventually lead to this failing. There's a bunch of them out there. If you have like a 3D printer or something like that, you can 3D print a model. So what you want is you want to get typically an extendable one that'll lift this to make this square, because it is definitely not. Alrighty. Tool. Easy Flash. Oops. That right there. It needs to be ordered at the same time that you do that power supply, because it's actually pretty noticeable. And the last thing you want to do is end up having that get damaged, because that's like, it's your most expensive component at this point. Yeah, so we're looking
Did
at
you see there were
180
a few
millimeters
million
over
Cisco
here,
devices
and over
actively hit
here,
by some zero-day
flip this over so
exploits?
I'm
CVE
reading this right. 120.
2025
On this side, we're at 110.
and CVE
So that's 10 mil.
20,362.
Again? Zero-day exploits. Name something better for the tech industry. Why is everything like loose here? I see why. Okay. So another thing that we're noticing, so there's two screw holes here. This is a prep screw hole, which you can see this one is, that's where it is. This is a lock screw hole. So now that I've put this screw there, I can't move this at all. So make sure if you're doing this, let me do that again. So this is a prep screw hole, which this screw is in, which doesn't actually lock anything. The center screw hole on these is a locking screw. So if you want, once you're done putting your fans and stuff in, you put the screw in the center hole, it locks it in place so it can no longer move. I should probably start doing that, Miss Muffin. I've had many, many people telling me that. So now, bottom fans, I can't move them. We have to look at this all-in-one dealio too, because that's like super loose for some reason. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I think this RGB cable might be failing. The way that these lights are partially working, they work from here, like going this way, starting right about here. But from here up, they're just a solid static color. Now that's unfortunately a sign that that's kind of going. Hush, Ramrod. I never got my water. I need to hydrate, guys. It's hydration. It's hydration time. It's not clobbering time. Get some water. Angeline, did you hear me mention about the Tuesday thing? No, but soon. I do need to do that. Yeah, because I'll be here all day on Saturdays. I will never plan to be out of the office. So I'm going to do all day Saturdays. So 9 to 5:30 on Saturdays. And then on Tuesdays, just be closed. I was really hoping my filament was going to be delivered today. What didn't answer your question?
Am I gonna be here all day Saturday?
No, I said no, I'll be here on Saturday.
But you want me here on Tuesday?
Yes, I would like you here on Tuesday, yes. Ew, I did. Wendy Gurdon. Taco Bell rewards. Yeah, that sound is not good. Yeah, no good. Because Emily, I need to have 2 days off. It does sound like an old movie projector. Yeah, I need 2 full days off to recoup my brain. IT stuff if need be. Okay, now let's see where we're at. I was waiting for the other person to reply before I replied. Because that is a very similar idea to what Love Muffin said, which I agreed was a great idea. So you need to make sure that you're going in there giving the right people credit. That's all. Let's get into the BIOS. Let's see what we can do with this memory. All right, let's see what happens when we turn on the OCP. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. There's our auto voltages. Yeah, she had said literally the exact same thing in chat on the night where I was super distraught about not being able to do perfect voiceovers, despite the fact that I've never done voiceovers before in my life. She said literally that. I was like, that is actually a really good idea. That way I can record and say whatever the F I want. So now, this is where we're going to find out for sure. Because as long as it gets past this point, right here, we're posting. You guys want to find him some cool anti-sag brackets? There's a lot of cool ones out there. Ooh, look at you with the fanciness. That's actually really that's nifty. That's one of the reasons why I would love to get these in my actual build, but I have a problem with the quality of them, not the light or anything, but just the fact that whenever I use them, they feel so cheap. Master, we said serious things only. That is, you know, that like if the problem with that one specifically, Master, is that it's not tall enough to actually make contact with the bottom fans. So this at this point is going to be ready to go. If you want to come down and pick it up, there's a couple things that we need to do with the counter. One of which is going to be we have to reset up your pin. And the reason we need to reset up your pin is because we've put new hardware in there. Yeah, that's a good one. Which one did Tech list? That one I don't think will be long enough. It needs to be, like, the gap at the bottom of this case is at least, what is that, 5 inches? So it's about, there's about a 5-inch gap, if I had to guess. Yeah, it's about 5 inches from the fan to the bottom of the GPU. Let me get this thing spun around. I'll shut this off. And when you get down here, we can run through some stuff. Oh, that's true. That would make sense. 12 to 14. It just looks tiny. So it's 120 millimeters. Which is 5 inches, right? When it comes in, just bring it in. And then we'll try and get it done relatively quickly. All right, come on. Oh. So why does this, oh, this is a quick release. So that's why this rear one moves around so much. It's actually a full-on quick release. That's why it's not stationary. I didn't realize it was a quick release. Okay. It is a beefy GPU, Mr. Big. It's definitely beefy. After playing Avatar last night, I have Avatar music stuck in my head. All right, let's move this guy. Ugh. And then we'll leave all this stuff in the box here for you. Because if all this stuff is working and you were just upgrading, then this is... You could probably sell this to somebody. Oh, cool. That bracket does not work at all with this old motherboard. So hold on to this bracket. That bracket is important. Hey, like, toss it up on eBay, man. People are buying 3080s all the time. 3080s and 3090s are going like hotcakes. People don't want to pay that, and the 40 series stuff. People don't want to pay huge amounts of money for this. Get out of my head song. I have a song about a jungle stuck in my head. What even... Wait, what even is this? Oh, this is from the new motherboard. Pay attention, Chris. We got an all-in-one that we quickly need to diagnose. Figure out what happened to it. That's the next project. Hey, his old motherboard had Wi-Fi too. Stuck with the Trident Z Royal though. This stuff, like, I have never done a build with Trident Z Royal ever, but lots of people like it. And as far as I know, the stuff is highly overclockable. See, this is what I was talking about. People don't realize, look at this. Good as new. All right. Over there. Ready to go. Let's look at this all-in-one and figure out what's going on with it. So this is an all-in-one from up at Southern Winding. It was working and then it wasn't. It's story of my life with this place. And apparently it's been not working for like weeks, and today is the first day I found out about it. So let's... Yes. I guess I need to build a ticketing system. Yellow. Bonjour, mon ami. Hey, are you going to be available tonight? On your computer to defend democracy? Okay. Well, I'll be on there regardless, but Tom said he was even willing to jump in, so you know how rare that is. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, whatever it is, as long as it's not family, it's not important. Because nothing's more important than family. All right, buddy. Adios. Yeah, you know, Liberty Bestie. All right. See ya. It is blinged out RAM. Good to see you too, Em. I don't think. I said it, family is nothing's more important than family, Emily. You're not my family, but you're still important to your family. You're equally as important as everyone else in my chat. Where's... Oh, why must you, like, fight me? Fight me, bro! There we go. This thing, whenever you're taking one of these apart, once you got all the screws out, you got to bend the case of this thing to a degree that feels unhealthy. Because, man, what is... There we go. So all of this is just like... Silly! Alright, we got some heat back here. There's... Oh, boy. There are some heat marks on the back of this that I don't like, on the back of this screen. Alright, let me see if we're getting any heat on the motherboard. Before I go any farther. Yeah. That is quality. All right, nothing's getting hot on the motherboard. Let's find out if it's something attached. Let's pop this out. Oh, thank you. So this is a cheap little HP, like 23 or whatever. So this is an HP, oh, I was wrong, so wrong. It's a 22-DD0016. Let's take a second. We're going to pull this motherboard. Yeah, you know, I very rarely will say something besides, hey, hush. We are not in the jungle, the mighty jungle. There's no lions singing tonight. The only other piece of technology that I've ever seen that HP's designed that was e-waste from the jump was the HP Stream. This is a close second. Because my gosh, were there decisions made here about everything. And this is still the HP that, like, this was probably an $800 all-in-one when it was new. Like, think about that. This thing with an HP Celeron processor, or Intel Celeron processor, excuse me. Like, it's ridiculous. And not the Harry Potter one. Yeah. Okay. Glad you're home, Lee. It has been. Which Harry? Are you talking about of the Potter? Potter? Okay, we got a short on this board. 100%. There's a short right here. Because as soon as we turn this on and plug this in, here, let me see if I can get you guys to hear it. Can you guys hear that? Yep, it is beeping, and we got something getting hot. I think I can see the problem already. What does our friend from, what is it, Computer Repairs University or whatever online say? Not every capacitor is needed. You do not need every capacitor on the motherboard. I do believe he is either Russian or he is Ukrainian. I do not know. He is one or the other. Hey, we've already found our culprits. Now, I need to replace that. Just because of where it is on the circuit board, I am very much going to need to replace it. Actually, hold on. Hold on. Because this is going to a different power stage, but it's all still coming in here. That would just be a lot of power for this to handle. Yeah, you can see that is iffed. So, let's see how Master's detecting skills are today. Here we go. It's a revision E. See if we can find this, Mr. Master. If not, I'm just going to grab a random capacitor and toss it on there. Oh, boy. So
it's Friday, September 26th. We're continuing to track two.
All right, everybody, listen up.
One is 94L.
Listen up.
Hi, it's Friday, September 26th. We're continuing to track two systems in the Atlantic. One is 94L, a disturbance moving through the Greater Antilles and into the Bahamas region. And the other is now Hurricane Humberto, strengthening and moving slowly to the west-northwest into the southwestern Atlantic. You'll have to bear with me here. There's a lot to discuss as we've been going over for the last couple of days. The interaction between these two systems is adding some complexity and some added uncertainty that's a little higher than average in the forecast for the next few days. But there are likely to be impacts from one or both of these systems in the southwestern Atlantic region.
There you go, Master.
Including the United States. So there's a lot to get to here. We're going to start with Hurricane Humberto. Here's the infrared satellite picture. You'll see an eye now.
Yeah, the same thing doesn't work when my speakers are muted for some reason.
Storm, struggling with vertical wind shear, tilting the vortex eastward with height. We talked yesterday about how the shear would likely slow the intensification rate for the next day or day and a half before relaxing. That turns out to have been a little bit quicker of a process.
Yep, Emily, it is. That's why I'm paying attention to it.
We have had the circulation align, and we have an eye clearing out. So this is now a hurricane with max winds of about 90 miles per hour. Perhaps will be a bit stronger on the next update, likely to be a Category 2 hurricane or so very soon. If we look at the vertical sounding from the ECMWF model, we'll see what happened here. The analyzed shear for the time of this video is now...
This is Chris.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Mm-hmm. Sure. Usually it takes a couple days, and it's $125, and the old computer needs to be running. Okay. As long as it works. Alrighty. Have a good one. Bye.
6 knots out of the southeast. If you look at this value from just a couple of runs ago yesterday, you can see the forecast from the model was for stronger, moderate westerly shear, and this has now relaxed more quickly than models anticipated. So with the shear already decaying, the storm has vertically aligned and intensified quite a bit. This is the water vapor satellite loop showing the westerlies associated with the upper level trough to the northwest of the storm. And the outflow from the storm has been fighting that shear pretty effectively over the last 24 hours. You see a well-defined poleward outflow channel there, and it looks like the shear is just not enough to disrupt the inner core at this point. So this is on its way and will continue intensifying as it begins to move west-northwest and then northwestward to the south of Bermuda. And from this point forward, shear is likely to stay in the light range, light to moderate, and we're likely to see favorable conditions for this to remain a strong hurricane and likely a major hurricane at some point. That would be a Category 3 or stronger storm over the next 3 to 4 days. And the broad anticipation is for this to be a strong storm that gradually curves towards the north and then northeast out over the open Atlantic. This is the current set of track models showing Humberto making that curve, and pretty good agreement here, as you can see amongst all of the models. A little bit of uncertainty as it's moving west of Bermuda, as you might expect, especially as it interacts with the other storm to the west, which we're going to talk about in a second. But you can see Bermuda here, still a nice comfortable margin where this is expected to be west of the island, which is good news, but that doesn't mean there can't be some shifts. This is a 4 to 5 day forecast, and the island will need to monitor for any shifts in the track forecast closer to the island. Even if it takes this track verbatim, could still be peripheral effects that impact the island due to the outer wind field and high surf due to the waves radiating outward from what is likely to be a strong hurricane at the time that it moves west of the island. This is the NHC official forecast showing exactly that. The M symbol here means major hurricane, so Category 3 or stronger, and it's expected to be strong throughout this journey, only weakening at the end.
So, one of the things that I always worry about when we're looking at these is the fact that there's always this assumption that these upper level winds that are coming this way are going to be strong enough to steer this course. A few years ago, we had a situation where every day the track basically did this. So this was like Monday, this was Tuesday, this was Wednesday, and eventually the storm got to right about here. It became a Cat 5 and then literally went directly like this. And as it did that, it dropped to a Cat 3, then a Cat 1, and we had tropical storm by the time it got to where we are. But it's making, like, if Sunday it's still here at 25 north, 65 west, then I'll believe this track. But if it is below this line, if it is down here, this thing is going to be here or here. I guarantee it.
When it begins to shift as it moves across Hispaniola, the Turks and Caicos, southeastern Bahamas, there really isn't one over the southwest with peak circulation because we're shear amplification over west, but the shear will not go away for precisely to where it first forms and anchors.
See, and it's this green area right here. This green area is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Right now, at this exact moment, right off the coast of Florida, there's a bunch of wet weather that's just sitting there. If it stalls there or if it breaks up across the state, this storm's not going to have anything preventing it from coming this way.
And I've been consistent in the GFS for some time where it's trying to jump the storm to the north. Here's 94L, because the race off towards the north-northwest, the hurricane is getting close to it, but it's too late to prevent a landfall. The storm ends up racing into South Carolina on this model run, merging with the remnants of the mid-level trough. Here, it is fast enough such that it does essentially outrun Humberto. Again, what's happening here is these two storms are having a steering influence on each other, where one storm's circulation is trying to pull Imelda back towards the south and east, and Imelda is also trying to pull Humberto towards the north.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. Our house is Cat 3 rated. These plots are pretty consistent.
Is that there's still the two branches here. Here's the landfall branch and the out to sea branch. But the landfall branch is more numerous now, probably about 60% of the members, whereas yesterday it was a much smaller fraction. Scenarios are, although uncertainty is much higher than we want it to be right now, we're likely to know.
So remember what I was talking about? This is the least likely for all of these, but it's still there.
A lot more once we actually see a circulation develop, as soon as we see where that is, and once circulation. We're about 4 days from a potential landfall in the southeastern U.S. I think folks need to be getting prepared. Also going to be the concern of, will this get strong over water, and will there be a storm surge at the coast?
Yes, there's always a storm surge. Okay. So, did you guys even see what the problem was on this? Well, here you go. Can you spot the one that's a problem? Here's another one that I have. It does not have that same capacitor. This is a different revision of the same board. Like, in case you're wondering, like, literally they are different revisions of the exact same board. So, in theory, if I follow this, I should be able to find a bank of capacitors. So here, I'll show you how they redesigned this board. So here, we have all of this power circuit right here. If we look at this board, underneath this connector, it immediately dives through the board, that's what these dots are, and then goes this way. All they did is they moved the power circuit to here. So there is that exact same capacitor. So we're going to take this capacitor and we're going to move it over to that other board and then see if she fires up. Let's go ahead and pull out our Gameboy and pull that thing off of there. Gameboy. I can go with my chunky guys this time. One thing I am going to have to worry about when I'm looking at the board that I need to actually repair versus this is a donor board, is that connector is actually relatively close. And when I say relatively close, I mean I'm not going to be able to get it off there without heating up that connector. So I'm going to have to worry about that. Yeah, I've been okay with it so far. The only problem is it leaves a lot of residue behind. Only problem so far. So, again, this is going to be our slight problem. You over there. Stay here. So that's what we need to remove, and this connector is literally right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put up a little shield. You know what, I'm going to take that. Remind me when I stream tonight. I'm going to take my tripod home, and I'll show you guys the setup that I'm going to use to do it. I haven't done it yet. I put my tripod in my backpack. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to lift this a little bit because I need some more space. We're going to get in there, and we'll see if you guys are even able to see. I don't think you're going to be able to see this at all. Because I can see it, and that's kind of what's important right now. I think that'll be... It's going to be as good as it gets. Yeah, you guys aren't going to be able to see this. Now I need to not move. I don't think these capacitors are the same size. They are not. Make sure none of that stuff moved. Did not. All right, so I'm going to need to find a capacitor that is similar size, because this is... Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? That's what we removed just now. It has a crack in it. Right there. And then this is the one that I pulled off, assuming it was the same size. You can see that it is not. So we just need to locate one that's similar size. And I think it looks like on this board they replaced one with two, because this is that same power circuit that I was talking about. This is the power adapter right on the other side, goes right through there, goes to there, and then goes right to here. So this is equivalent size. Kingbo. I have the song Faint stuck in my head. Yeah. Got all the songs stuck in my head. My days seem to be better when I have music in my head. That's a thing, right? I think we're gonna have to do this the old school way.
Say goodnight, see you tomorrow.
You're almost there with that spelling, Emily. Almost there. Keep trying. Keep up the good work. We'll see you tomorrow, Emily. Have a good night. No. Bad capacitor. Hey, hush. None of that around here. We don't sing those jungle songs here. Let me Let me be safe about this. Got a whole bunch of this extra. I'll just use it. I got 2 giant bubbles. What's the worst that can happen there, right? Right, Master? It is not quite. It is almost, but it is not quite. Thankfully. Now we get to play around. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Another happy customer. Had to install the Wi-Fi drivers after we reset his pin and everything. Because his pin was a little bit not happy. All right, let's get in here one more time. I just need to pull off some of this excess. That's down there. And then we'll try and line this up just a wee bit. Yeah, he did. All right. This is not working for me right now. I don't know. He has icons next to his name. He's got a Borderlands icon. So I don't know if it's that, or if it's because of that. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see. No more clicking. So there's that. Let's use Master's favorite tool. Yeah, building keyboards is fun. Okay. Are we getting electricity is the question. It does not appear to be so. Do I have the right thing plugged in? I don't think I have the right thing plugged in. I don't. 3, 2, 1. We got ourselves a power light, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing hotting up. Let's see if their original cord is working. That would be nice. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Let's put this thing back together before we go. So this is one less thing I have to worry about. What's your limited time offer? I'm always down to spend money on things that I feel no one else should have access to. Whatever it is, I'll buy it all. No, I'm about to. I have to put stuff away first. And I got to pull out my micro cloths. And then we grab our tweezers. I have to gleam the cube. It's sad that none of you will ever get that reference. None of you are cultured enough to know what gleaming the cube means. All right, board cleaned. Yes. Yes, you can, Lee. All right. That back in. Where's my screwdriver? There it is. One by one we roll the dice. Let's go. See, this right here, this is the stuff that I'm about. I enjoy this so much. Open it up, see the problem right away, get it corrected. No way we lose when we're having this much fun. No, they're not going back tonight. I'll be up there on Sunday, so I'm gonna do it on Sunday. Because they don't work tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going back up there on Sunday. They do not work tomorrow. So they don't need it tomorrow. Today's Friday. In case you didn't know what day of the week it was, Master. Tonight we're going to make some tea, everybody. Some liberty. I have an extra screw. Oh, no, I don't. So let's just leave. Okay. Okay. Ah, that might actually be a problem. There's a part missing now, and I need to find it. Where did you go? End up on the floor. I can hear it. Where is it? Where is it? Great. This is going great up until about 10 seconds ago. Now I'm missing a small piece of plastic that holds the video cable in. Okay. This motherboard's missing it too. Am I crazy here? I mean, I might have to. Both motherboards are missing it. Like, the likelihood of that happening is very, very low. So at what point did I lose it? Let's figure this out. Because it's got to be around here somewhere. Things don't just disappear. All right, man. I'll be here. So it's still on at this point. It's down here somewhere. Where did it go? Unless I see you. Come on. Is there no way to get you out? Can we just go up a little bit? And then over? Got you. Got it. That's why we record all of our repairs, everybody. For moments exactly like that. Yeah, that's right. They added the rewind feature for anyone who is unaware. On Twitch. So now that cable goes in there. Yeah, why would I be aware of it? I don't watch Twitch, Master. That's like saying that like you were unaware that the top speed of my vehicle was 130 miles an hour until I told you. Like, gosh, you should have known. Hello, how are you? Like, yes, it is. It is definitely capable of going faster than that. All right. Not plugged in again. We got lights. We got camera. How's this look? Keyboard error. You can see how fast this computer is now. Be amazed at everyone. Be amazed. Thank you, Mr. Biggs. I'll be around tonight, and I'll be around tomorrow. I got one more thing. It's 5:30. Everyone go home. I do have one more thing I gotta do. I have to get my pack outs ready for tomorrow with all of my connectors. I bought some pack outs because I was tired of carrying around a cardboard box with all of my connectors and everything. So I caved and I bought some stuff from Milwaukee. Yes, blazing fast speeds. me grab this stuff. I can start doing this. Yeah, but you didn't see what it can do. It comes apart. And it clicks together. No, you don't understand how, like, this is actually so useful for me. I buy a lot of stuff that isn't useful, Mom. But they also make, like, for that would go in this space, they make a vacuum cleaner that fits just in one little half. So I can just get one more of these, like this side, stack it up, and then have the vacuum cleaner permanently on here. And I'll always have a vacuum cleaner with me. Like, I am so excited about that. I am. It is, it's awesome.
How'd you find that?
Tom has had it for a while, and I've known about pack outs for a while, which is what this is called. Just these 3 pieces were $150. So
Oh. Yes. I've got termites in the main bathroom. How do I get rid of them?
tent the house. I know. That's it. There's nothing you can do to kill them. You can call some of these no tent termite places, but they don't work very well. But it would be better than tenting the whole house. How much did they tell you it was going to cost? I heard you call them and talk to them about tenting the house.
Not continuous. I just wanted to get termites in. I had massing. I left it lapse.
Yeah.
Come every. Nonsense. All the stuff around.
Yeah, this is why I don't want to spend any more money, Master. You are correct. All right. It was 100% hit by a surge. I had to replace multiple parts of the motherboard. But thankfully, I had a donor board. Yeah, I'm shocked I actually had the exact board here. So there are multiple 10. And get an idea of what you have them come out and quote you. All right, pack out time. And then we go home. That's really your only option, Mama. I'm sorry. Once they're in the wood, they are impossible to get rid of. It's not like ants, you know? Mom? You're just not responding. Okay, I'll call them. Find out how much it costs. How do you know they're termites?
I don't know if it's termites.
Okay.
They just send it into the bathroom, get the cat litter, and I have this little mound,
Is it black?
it's brown. It's like, where did it come from? How could it come from the behind the mirror?
Oh yeah, it's coming from the wood.
It's right by the seat there. The spot is like, okay.
Hey, you're on speaker.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you have labels?
What kind of labels are we looking for, my love?
Something that I can put on a bag.
Like paper labels or sticky labels?
Like a sticker, like something that I could type up on, like Word. It'll,
No, I don't have anything like that. Okay.
can we get some?
Yes, you can toss them in the Amazon cart and order them.
Today.
How would you like that to happen, honey?
Can we not just like buy them?
Yeah, sure. You're right next to a like a Staples, are you not?
Where's there a Staples?
75th?
Really?
75th and Manatee. Yep, it's been there for a very long time. I almost need this other one. I'm setting up my pack out at work so I can leave. Oh, chat says hello.
Okay.
You can say hi, chat.
Hello.
She says hello. She loves you guys almost as much as I do.
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that would be the place to go, or Walmart.
Okay.
Those are my options. I'm trying to get this set up so I can leave, because I had to take this with me up to Southern Winding on Sunday.
When did you start doing this?
Like 10 minutes ago, when I got done working on the computers that I was working on.
Okay.
Because I didn't get to the office until 2 o'clock today.
What?
I was at Southern Winding,
I see.
which you knew about.
No.
So me putting it to the into the calendar means nothing.
It doesn't say that.
All right. Because it definitely does.
Okay, I'm looking at my calendar and it doesn't say that. The only thing I see is gaming with the boys.
It's right there.
It's not on mine.
I see. That's my fault, my love.
Did you? Does it say Bradenton PC Repair
It is.
calendar?
It's the Last 7 Studios one.
Yeah.
You look pretty. Let me finish setting these up, and then I will call you when I get in the car. Okay?
Sure.
I love you.
I love you. Goodbye.
Bye, honey. She's awesome. These will not fit in there. She doesn't hate you guys. She just doesn't love you as much as I love you. Which is, I love you like that 7th or 8th cousin that you didn't know you had. Like, oh, I guess we're related. Cool. How many more of these do I have? Because I have been using this, which is not great. Yes, Master. We're not related to absolutely everyone. We have 2 random Ethernet tips, which I think we'll put in this one. Dividers. Pack out! I never understood why this stuff was so expensive. And then you look at the engineering behind it and it's like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. All these RJ whatevers, little facts. We got these random things. Nope, they're not. They're the RJ15s or whatever. The fax lines. Ow, 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 ow. These are nails. They hurt. Okay. So we have single, nail. This thing served me well for all of a week that I've had this stuff in here. What's that? I think a magnet might actually be better. I just don't have any magnets here currently that are big enough to pick stuff up. Actually, I could use my LTT screwdriver now that I think about it. It has a magnet attachment. My friend is going to be so proud. Yeah, that works somewhat better. He's going to be so proud. Oh, you've come into the modern era of organization instead of cardboard boxes. Who are you? Thank you for subscribing. And now that that I'm gonna have these with me, I'll be able to use these things. Pay attention, Christopher. My hands are turning black from these things. Mom?
Yeah,
Let me know when it gets to 5:45.
546.
Nice. I gotta go. This is the thing that's taking the longest, 100%. Then everything else will be smaller quantities. You want to close up the front? Yup, excuse you indeed. Lose when you're having this much fun. Cable managers. Couplers. What do I have? Like, I got washers. I feel like they're important. Not sure why I have them. Washers. We're going to have our miscellaneous screw bin, because every good tool bench has one of those. I mean, is it really an actual home if you don't have a random drawer that's full of just junk stuff that you don't know what it's for? But you felt like you should hold on to it because maybe. Alright, this side is good. I don't have space for that. I don't have space for that. I got these bad boys. These are straight through couplers. Garbage. Those are just random brackets. Got a screwdriver set. Toggles. I guess I'll put you. Actually, we can put the toggles in there. So we're gonna have to keep this box for now. Oh yeah, there you go. That's actually worth. This bag is probably $150 worth of parts. Just a little bit of that. That is all rack nuts. Hello, Jeremy. Right now, nothing. I'm just putting together a pack out that I got to take with me. Just getting ready to call it a night. There. That's right. I forgot. We can't just put these things anywhere because Milwaukee's engineers know best. What are you doing?
Just watching you.
Okay. I don't know. I'd have to research it. I'm getting ready to head out, man. Ask either Copilot or GPT. See what they say. Be a good place to quickly start. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Everyone have a good night. Goodbye.